What's going on, guys? Outside playing fetch with the dog, and I wanted to take some time to speak what's on my heart. I'm a little upset, I'm not gonna lie. I just made a video and it was on time lapse, and I have to do this whole thing over again because it said the video was 32 seconds and it totally was way longer than that. Anyways, the message of the video and what I speak about often on this channel is about being authentic and showing up for ourselves. Now, in the past, in the other videos, I've talked about authenticity in a way of doing what your heart desires. In this video, I'm gonna talk about not really showing up in that way, but showing up in the way that our heart is the most honest. So what do I mean by that? So whenever you're referring to another person and there's demands and there's pressures to be a certain way because, you know, the person has certain expectations of you, how do you show up? Are you being authentic how you're showing up? Or are you showing up as the version of them, of you, that you want them to see? Right? So is it just a facade? Or are you showing up truly how you are? Right? I've been the last few days dealing with this kind of turmoil, and I wasn't really aware of why or where it was coming from, but after some deeper dive and some conversations, I've realized that once again this is a big theme in my life of showing up authentically in my life and just being how I am and not putting on a facade to look good in front of another or to make someone else happy. And it's so unconscious that it's hard for me to catch a lot of the times, and it just kind of slips by, and sometimes I just don't see it, and I get upset with myself because I'm just like, I did it again, you know, and it happens, and I try to not be too hard on myself, but I get upset. And so what I was thinking and what I'm gonna do is create these pillars of how I want to live my life, right? So these pillars will be like pillar 1, pillar 2, and pillar 3. What is authenticity, or showing up in an authentic way regardless of what it may look like to another? And just like there's laws to the universe, and there's law to gravity, and there's laws to life, you know, kind of creating that for myself so I can kind of have this guidebook that leads my authentic path, and having that as a constant reminder of how I'm gonna show up in the world and to not sway from that. And I think that that's really gonna help me, and I encourage you guys to do the same, to create this for whatever vision that you have, and number them in the importance of how important is this to you, you know. And people talk about values all the time as well, and I think it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, what are your values, and are you living in line with that? And if your values are so important to you, you know, it's like you have to do whatever it takes regardless of the circumstance. And I think since authenticity has been such a reoccurring theme in my life, and to show up and to really be myself and not just go for what I want, but also just show up with how I am truly, that's something that I'm really, it's valuable to me, and I need to create this for myself because I know that it's gonna keep me going in the path and the direction that I need to lead my life. And so I encourage you guys to do the same, to create these for yourself, because once we have these steps, these laws, these concepts that we live by, these values, they give us more direction in where we're headed and why we're headed there. And like I mentioned, it's been a reoccurring theme, enough for me to like, all right, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. And I'm showing up, and I need to show up just as I am. Fully, raw, authentically myself. And I know, like, I may fall off of it again, but as long as I have that reminder, maybe I won't stray as quickly off the path or for so long, right? Because we're humans, like, we're gonna make mistakes. But it's not that if you make a mistake, it's how long do you let that mistake affect your day or affect your weeks or your month? How long is that gonna be carried on? And the quicker you catch it, the happier you can be. The happier you'll be, right? Because then oh, I got off the path, let me get right back on to my alignment and to my path and to my purpose, right? So it's not about not making mistakes, it's just about getting back on and doing the best that we can, because that's all we can really truly do, is just do the best that we can. You know, that's all we can do. And the best that we can for ourselves first and foremost. That's how you show up authentically in this world of chaos. So yeah, that's the message for today, guys. Tell me in the comments what came up for you as I was speaking this message. And I'm glad that some of you are commenting. It makes me happy to connect and to be able to build that community. And yeah, subscribe, like, comment, do it all, and I'll see you guys on the next video.